wisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together.
In the market for either buying or selling your home? City First Mortgage Service, LLC is the first place for all your needs. Branch Manager John P. Lewis and his staff can serve you with a smile and professional courtesy. Serving Georgia, Alabama, Florida, 770-598-0860. John P. Lewis, City First Mortgage Service, LLC. We place you first.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Good morning. Welcome to WQEE 99.1. I'm Donna.
And I am Bruce.
And this is
Lyrical Wisdom.
Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Donna.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Are you excited for today?
I am very excited for
Me
today.
too. Today, we're going to look at a song by Nako and Medicine for the People.
Sounds great.
The title of the song is Bend Like a Willow. I love this song. I'm going to read the lyrics and then let's discuss it.
Absolutely.
Tell your story, even if it sounds dark. Shame is a shade of you, color in the hard parts. Oh yeah, color in the hard parts. Let that pain in your heart ignite, inspire, spotless mind. It's peace I desire. When I call on the name, feel it rush through my veins. So I put it in the fire, send it back to the stars. Sweat hits my chest and I'm praying really hard. All I can see is infinity of dark. All I can feel is that beating drum in my heart. You are braver than your deepest fear. You are wise beyond your years. Bend like the willow, cast your love over me. Creator's shadow, cast your love over me. Find your person and keep your elders close. Try things out, hold hands of many folks. Pull the trigger if you dig her. She's a fighter and a keeper, but be careful to go deeper, 'cause it could mean steeper consequences. You're a man now. You gotta make your own decisions. Have you heard yourself lately? Take some time to listen. Oh yeah, take some time to listen. Your mind is a garden. Be sure to tend it well. Where you find the water is where you find yourself. You are braver than your deepest fear. You are wise beyond your years. Bend like the willow, cast your love over me. Creator's shadow, cast your love over me. And then it goes on, bend like the willow, cast your love now. Is that not some really cool lyrics?
That is incredible. There's so many spots in here that I found listening to you recite that I really find incredibly fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, the very first one, tell your story, even if it sounds dark.
Incredible. Shame is a shade of you.
Of you.
Color in the hard parts.
Yeah, which, that's so prevalent right now. Everybody's doing what is called shadow work.
Yes.
And, I mean, some people don't like it.
because it's difficult.
Yeah, you go deep to where it hurts, where there's pain, and where you've never really looked before.
You maybe don't even want to look there, but you have to. It's we used to joke about the place where the sun doesn't shine, but that's actually probably where, you have to tell that story, even if it starts dark, or even if it is dark. It's the hard parts. Mm-hmm. And those hard parts are the things that they truly do color in parts of us.
And also I've heard a lot recently about how we've been living in black and white. And now with this new earth coming, we're getting colorized.
It's amazing because
that's what I've heard. That color is coming into our world. We're beginning to see things in different ways, more colorful ways. And shame is such a big wound, I think, within each and every one of us. Believe it or not, it's like tied to that really, really deep root of unworthiness.
Absolutely.
Of, shame. It's in guilt, and it's where we don't feel like we're divine. We don't feel like we're connected to our Creator. That's where shame comes from. So it's really, really hard work to I think, to really get there, because I think it's the deepest wound we have.
It's the self-doubt. It's the ability to look at yourself and realize those things that we build as tools against ourselves. We create them. We create this thought process and this life of, we are not worthy.
Yes.
We don't deserve this. We don't
Yes.
deserve that. I'm not good enough for this. I can't do that. And that is where we build up those tools of shame, because then when we see things that, in some ways, people see things that they think that they could possibly deserve, but it makes them feel shame to see somebody else have it because they don't feel like they deserve it. So it brings on that whole new feeling of that color and that feeling inside of them.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest wound tied into abundance.
Oh my gosh,
It's
yes.
why, people think they have to work really, really hard because they don't see themselves as worthy of receiving gifts
Absolutely.
and abundance.
And in some cases, the trauma that they may have experienced, which is really deep, is something that then attaches itself to the key. They create a key that unlocks a shame that they didn't realize that they would create for themselves later on in life because of some sort of traumatic event that then makes them feel like, because of that traumatic event, maybe they don't deserve to feel love because of that experience with whatever that trauma was. And that is one of those difficult places that I think can really bring out the shame in people as they move on in life, and it colors their life in a way that they don't even expect as they move forward.
So then it goes into let that pain in your heart. So that's what you're talking about. They don't feel worthy of even love. That's where a lot of blockages are in the heart, So let that pain in your heart ignite, inspire, spotless mind. It's peace I desire.
I love that line. That is so beautiful, because it's such a true statement that I think it's that cry, in a way, of let that pain in your heart ignite, inspire. That's the inspiration, really. It's when you can face some of those things, then you can release them, which then inspires the peace, because that is what that truly says to me, is that it's an inspiration of, growth, change, and then the peace, the calm waters that follow.
Yeah.
When I call on the name, feel it rush through my veins. So I put it in the fire, send it back to the stars. Sweat hits my chest, and I'm praying really hard. It just, I love that.
You could picture that, couldn't you? How many times have you done that?
So many times. In how many different instances? I could say in a moment I felt that exactly when I was worried about the results that I wanted for maybe a test I took, or an experience I was having where I had to, submit something and then I was getting back some important results, or a test I took when I had to have some sort of medical procedure, or finding out if there's somebody I love and they're like having a medical issue. It's suddenly all of those heart-pounding moments, and you feel that rush through your veins, and you put it in the fire, send it back to the stars, sweat hits my chest, and I'm just praying real hard, that those things too that also come when we do find the inspiration to deal with those other issues that are in the dark.
When we shine a light on them. So what I love about this is it says, when I call on the name.
Yes.
So it's okay with whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Because some of us get hung up when we hear certain names, but there are so many different names for that energy that created us. There's God, there's Goddess, there's Buddha, there's, all these different Allah, different names that people call it.
Yeah.
And that is where I love the fact that it's just called a name. When I call on the name, so it's whatever you desire to name it, whether it is creator or source or light or spirit.
Absolutely.
And when you do that, when you truly call on it, that creative power, energy, you feel it rush through your veins, because it is us. It's in us. It created us. I just really, really love that. And the big thing is put it in the fire and send it back to the stars. How many times now it's like we know that instinctively.
Yeah.
Are the indigenous people, they would always have fires and burn and burn and burn. That's what we do when there's something going on and you feel like you can't handle it. Write it on a piece of paper, put it in the fire, and watch it go back to the heavens through the smoke, to the stars.
That's amazing. Because then I also think of it as like, put it in the fire. It almost makes me think of like the guys that run the train engine, shoveling the coal into the fire and sending it back to the stars, in the sense that it is somewhat the fuel. Because in the way that when I call on the name, feel it rush through my veins, somewhat that could also indicate that rush of that energy, and then the burn in the fire, and then as it is used and utilized through our souls and our energy, it gets burned and it rushes up through us through to the stars.
That was beautiful, because I kind of pictured what you were talking about, the old-fashioned locomotive with the guy shoveling the coal and, but that's what made the train go. And that is what you're saying. And I love that, because when we do give back and burn all that negativity, the dark that's within us,
If we get rid of
it becomes creation.
Yes.
It's what is used for creation.
Yes.
So that was really cool.
Oh my
and
gosh.
that's what the next line is. All I can see is an infinity of dark. So sometimes for me, that's like hitting rock bottom.
Yes.
And when you get to rock bottom, there is no way but up. You pretty much,
And it's interesting that rock bottom is it feels like an infinity of dark. It feels like the bottom of a well that has no water. It feels so
deep
and dark and hollow and just empty.
So then Nako then tries to tell you, when you're in that place, when you feel the darkness all around you, just know that you are braver than your deepest fear.
Because all I can feel is that beating drum in my heart.
Yeah.
And I am just amazed at the true rhythms and things that function in such a rhythmic way in our universe. And that beating drum in my heart, it is that constant, it is that center, it is that part that,
the entire universe,
Exactly.
the entire cosmos,
The pulse
the
of it.
infinite. Yes.
Yeah, the pulse of
it's
it is
pulsing
and that-
everywhere.
and that
You
is,
can
yeah.
actually feel it
Yeah.
in Gaia. You can really feel it when you stop and do, what did he say? Something about the mind, the spotless mind.
Yes.
For me, that's, when you're letting go of all the thoughts, everything,
Quiet.
and yes.
Yeah.
You can really feel the pulse of life.
Yeah.
You truly can. It is everywhere.
Oh my
everywhere.
gosh, I can't believe how beautiful this song is.
I know, isn't it?
It's amazing because then you're absolutely
You are wise beyond your years.
Yeah, it is a. For some reason I just pictured the Salvador Dali painting where he's reaching down from the sky through the clouds, picking up the person, and it looks like the hand is picking up the person to take them up to the sky, and just like you said, there is no necessary name there. When I call on the name, feel it rush through my veins, that could be considered in Salvador Dali's painting, the hand of God.
Yeah.
And that
Definitely.
that's one of my favorite paintings, masterworks. But that's what I feel like this is also doing in its own all-encompassing ways, that by the time, the artist Nako has gotten to this point where, you have heard him say and sing, all I can see is infinity of dark, all I can feel is that beating drum in my heart, and then you are braver than your deepest fears. And then there is that hand, and it just picks you up, and it just brings you, not just brings you back, because that is somewhere that's within us, but, though you are braver than your deepest fear, you are wise beyond your years, bend like the willow, cast your love over me. It's this wonderful bath of support. And generosity that you suddenly feel from those words and those lyrics to me, because the thoughts of the other things, I think in some ways, people mentioning them in songs, sometimes people maybe they think, well, I don't really want to hear about somebody's darkness. But,
well, and then there's so many people who don't want to do that, the shadow work or whatever. They don't want to look at their darkness. They
want to pretend like it doesn't exist.
Yeah. They say, I'm all right, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And they refuse to acknowledge that there's something going on that could be very, very deep that they may not even realize they've stuck down there.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, I find that the best part about his lyrics is that he does touch on these things. He does say, tell your story, even if it's dark.
Yeah.
Shame is it's a powerful word.
It's a shade of you.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing is people don't realize, I think a lot of people went, the pendulum swing they're talking about, It's like when you get spiritual, you think you're not supposed to have any shade.
Holy cow.
At all.
It's
like, I can't get angry, I can't do this, I can't do that. And that is so wrong.
It is.
So wrong, because we're human.
We are human.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Is to feel these things. And so, get angry, but recognize, be aware of it. Find out about it. What made me angry? Why am I angry?
Exactly.
And that's where the beauty and the magic comes in, because when you do look at those shades of you and you begin to color them in,
oh my gosh,
life is fun.
And it becomes a lot more colorful.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's I don't mean to sound punny, but it's just that, the fact of the matter is that is true. But it is something that it is hard for people, and there are these things that, you know, I think that is such a truth of the listening to songs that some people take as too maybe spiritual, is that for them, that's what they hear is you need to maybe take a look inside of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so they immediately get turned off to that kind of dialogue, and that's fine. That's fine. But I couldn't. I so agree. It's so nice to see then also the parts of this that are absolutely uplifting.
Yeah. Well, when you bend like the willow, for me, it's acknowledging that darkness, acknowledging the shame. Bow your head.
Yes.
Get on your knees. Pray.
Surrender.
Whatever. Surrender.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bend like the willow, and allow that energy, that the name, whatever you want to call it, let it cast its love over you.
Absolutely.
And then it says, Creator's shadow, cast your love over me. So, you know how the willow, and I love the fact that it's a willow, because, I mean, think about the movie Grandmother Willow and everything, you know, I think it's Pocahontas or something, and even Avatar. Willow trees are beautiful.
And, oh my gosh.
Well, all of nature is, because it's a part of it's a part of the Creator. It's a part of us. So, yeah, don't be afraid to bend like the willow.
No,
and allow that love to come over you. And Creator's shadow, I thought that was fascinating, because we are creators. We have that essence of the Creator within us.
Yes.
So that shadow of the Creator is your shadow too.
That you're casting.
Yeah. So you're learning to love yourself.
Yes.
That's where I got with this song. It was so beautiful. And then, of course, you know, find your partner and keep your elders close and all that good stuff. Enjoy life. But then your mind is a garden.
That is one of my favorite lines. Be
sure to tend it well.
Yes.
Yes.
Where you find the water is where you find yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah. The water is the blood. Our blood is the water. It's the same. We have all the elements within our physical body. Earth is my body. Water is my blood. Air is my prayer. And fire is my spirit.
Wow.
So all the elements are within our body. And when you know that, the blood that flows through you is just like the water that flows constantly on earth. It's moving constantly.
Yeah, it's a living thing.
It is living.
I love have you heard yourself lately? Take some time to listen.
Yes.
Take some time to listen. Because,
your mind is a garden.
Yeah.
Tend it well.
And if you don't take some time to listen, exactly what we were just saying, like the fact of the matter is that we don't listen to ourselves enough to know that we need to focus on ourselves.
Well, yeah, a lot of people say, I'm so stupid, or, I did this. You know, they don't realize how much they are hurting themselves by saying or thinking, you know, these kind of thoughts that are negative towards ourselves. So bend like a willow. And let the Creator's love flow, you know, cast your love over me. Love yourself.
Yes.
And remember your mind. That mind is a garden. Pull the weeds. Look at your dark places.
Be sure to tend
Shine
it well.
a light on it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you are wise beyond your years.
Right. Such a beautiful song.
Oh my gosh. I'm amazed. I think
Nahko, Nahko, for those of you who would like to look up this song, Nahko, and Medicine for the People. He has beautiful, beautiful music and songs, but this one I wanted to talk about.
This one was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. I really enjoyed this. Thank you for coming together and sharing lyrical wisdom.
When you hear music, do the lyrics speak to you on a deeper level? I'm Bruce Thornton. Join me and Donna Wood every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM The Key for our show Lyrical Wisdom. Every week we will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden messages that we hope will leave you feeling inspired and enlightened. We know that our ideas may not always line up with yours, so this show will be an open discussion. Email us with ideas for songs at lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together.